Kahalo Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua Shimmer Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations, elder brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity. My brother Yahshua, here with a lesson, all right? And basically it's just a short warning to stay circumspect, all right? Because this devil is making his move. He's scared, all right? Because they're pushing these false flags, and they're trying to get this this nation against nation war, all right? Nationality popping, and they have a limited amount of time to do that. All right, they're going to use this heat and this summer to try to get something jumping off. And what they're doing is they're trying to show Jake in a bad light, out marching with guns and shooting cops and like this whatever thing, the rise of the Moors and NFAC, this whole thing, and then they're going to try to equate it to us, the true men of the Lord, right? But they've already started. And this whole rise of the Moors thing, right? If you understand how the hierarchy of witchcraft, which, is Masons and, that whole thing, Shriners, anybody's got that fez or, really you're just worshiping other gods, and at some point they're all working together. And these people work with our open enemy, all right? They actually have allegiance to their fellow adepts, if you will, their fellow witches, more so than they do to their own nation or nationality or race, if you will. They're all one big group. Doesn't matter what color or what nationality you're from. They uphold their oath, the oath that they took, they put above everything else. So you're going to have Jakes, right, that are actually doing the bidding of the devil. They've been told, okay, what you got to do is you got to go out here and act like you're a militia. Play this game, this psyop with us, so we can push it out. And they actually know that they're under Esau. Prince Hall is under Esau. It was created for this very purpose, and they're playing their part. So basically, they're betraying first the Most High, and then our people, the nation of Israel. So whether they know it or not. So anyway, we'll get a couple of scriptures. We'll watch this latest news. Came out this morning. All right, this is John 8 and 44? John 8 and 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Okay? Let's get Genesis 27. And 41. 42, 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. All right, so let's watch this. Where is Doofus? Okay, this is the American Doofus channel.
Hello, everybody. Thank you again for watching. It is the American Doofus Show.
Okay, so This says American Doofus Channel premiered 76 minutes ago. I don't know what that is, an hour and some change. And the description says, ahead of a speech from First Lady Dr. Jill Biden, white supremacists from Texas marched through the streets of Philadelphia and then run off by Philly citizens. So, I don't know. I mean, what is this? All right, so you got in Massachusetts, wherever that was, Rhode Island, wherever, you got Negroes dressed up in, in full, military, not military, but military garb, weapons, and so forth, right? And then they put that shit all over the mainstream media. You already know it's a psyop. Salaki. Salaki. And then you have this, all within days. All right, so they're showing one side, then they're showing the other side. Both sides of the conflict, all right? The headline reads, breaking news, WS march in Philadelphia, and they came from Texas. So what is this, all right? What's going on here? Let's watch it.
Be a doofus. I'm Barry Welsh. I'm your host, and I do appreciate everyone watching. I hope you had a safe and happy day yesterday. We've been monitoring things that have been occurring and potentially leading to an uprising.
Okay, and this channel seems kind of weird, but this guy does stay up on current events. He reports it. Other people hide it or think it's insignificant. And this guy could be a Jake, He seems pretty genuine. He's very consistent. He doesn't push white supremacy, right? And if he did, the men of the Lord would be able to tell, all right? And what I can see is that he's, clearly white, but that don't mean he's not a Jake, right? He's not coming from the spirit of white supremacy. Anyway, again, it's a good channel to get information from, all right? Both sides, all right?
By supporters of Donald Trump. And our first story, our breaking news story this morning, a white supremacist group was in Philadelphia last night. Let's take a look.
With the white supremacist group Patriot Front marched through the heart of Philadelphia. Counter-protesters confronted that particular group. Police did respond to the scene that you see right here. That march coming ahead of today's visit by First Lady Jill Biden, and her security is heightened for the 4th of July. Action News reporter Becca Henderson is live on Independence Mall with an update on the commotion in the city of Philadelphia. Becca, what are you learning about this?
Greg, first of all, the First Lady is due to be here on Independence Mall within the next few hours for a celebration of freedom ceremony. As you said, with her presence comes heightened security. Homeland Security had issued a warning this week about the threat of violent extremists exploiting the return of large gatherings. Now, while they remained nonviolent last night, a group of white supremacists were here in Philadelphia. They marched through the city on the eve of the First Lady's visit.
They basically got their ass ran up out of town, okay, which they're promoting, and that could, spur both sides to rally, and this thing just kind of bubble over the top.
Say none of the protesters were from Philadelphia. Patriot Front is based in Texas, and they traveled into the city. Action News was the only crew on scene as the group traveled down the Ben Franklin Parkway, across Market, Chestnut, and Walnut Streets before marching to Penn's Landing. Hundreds of masked protesters from Patriot Front chanted while carrying American flags and shields. At Penn's Landing, several onlookers began yelling at the protesters and banging on trucks as the group loaded into the vehicles and drove off. Police say some of those angry onlookers actually scared off the white supremacists.
They started engaging with citizens of Philadelphia who were none too happy about some of the things they were saying. Apparently, these males felt threatened, and at one point, somebody in their crowd threw a type of what we believe is a smoke bomb to cover their retreat, and they literally ran away from the people.
Okay, so as you can see, you know, now these white supremacists, they're not going to appreciate being called cowards and chickens or whatever, or being run off. And this is the media inflaming both sides. Okay, that's going to spur more people to come out. So, oh, we need more numbers. And so both sides are going to grow. Oh, you ain't coming to bring that shit to our town. And it's like that. If you think you're going to do a march in Chicago, in Baltimore, where there's a concentration, you could do that shit in a Klan country, all right, in a sundown town, all right, and nobody's going to fuck with you. But if you think you're going to walk up in front of a bunch of Jakes and flaunt, it's going to be a problem, all right? And really, this is the spirit that the Most High is putting on everybody, on both sides. So we're not giving, of course, Esau is pushing it, but he's only, he's being a robot for the Most High. The Most High is the one that's bringing this, all right?
Police later questioned the entire group of protesters after pulling their trucks over for safety reasons along Delaware Avenue. Now, police say no property was destroyed during this commotion last night. We are hoping to learn more about why these white supremacists were in Philadelphia. But again, this was on the eve of the First Lady's visit to the city. Live on Independence.
And if I'm not mistaken, Philadelphia goes back to Egypt. Okay? We'll look that up, but the name Philadelphia goes back to Egypt, making this Egypt. Okay? And that's significant because, like I just stated, the Most High is flaming up both sides. He's going to set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, so we'll get to that.
Hendrickson, Channel 6, Action News. Alicia?
So there we go. Breaking news. A group of white supremacists from Texas traveled to Philadelphia, marched last night in the late hours of the night. And
is that a hate crime? Okay, you could go through, you could say nigga all you want, but if you say something to the 1948ers, then that's a crime. And that can be punished by jail and all kind of other shit. So what's really going on?
Philadelphia, for those that don't know, the Philadelphia Eagles football team fans are well known for throwing ice balls at Santa Claus. So perhaps a message there, don't mess with Philadelphia. Nonetheless, in all sincerity, while we can joke about this because nothing happened, it is no joke. This is potentially a sign, a trigger, if you will. And we'll be monitoring what goes on throughout the rest of the day, throughout the rest of this week.
Okay, so there it is. This weekend was supposed to, kick some shit off. And if nothing else, then this is some sort of sign that something's going on. All right, so let's get this here. Let's get Philadelphia. PHA. Egypt. Philadelphia, Egypt. Let's see what this says. Okay. There was a city of Philadelphia, which meant an ancient Greek city of brotherly love, located in Egypt. about 75 miles to the southwest of modern-day Cairo. Where's Cairo? That's where the Great Pyramid is. All right, the Giza Plateau. Founded during the Ptolemaic period. That's them Greeks. Okay? Now what is that? Okay, where does this word Philadelphia, okay, ancient Greek, city of brotherly love, why is that in America? Okay? What's going on there? Give me a Wikipedia. All right. Let's read this. Amman. All right. Amman is the capital and largest city of Jordan and the country's economic, political, and cultural center with a population of okay, Gazal. Well, I'm looking for Philadelphia. Where's that at? We're not showing it. Okay, Salakia, I'm there. Where's Philadelphia? I type in Philadelphia, they go to, let's see. It says, okay, Philadelphia is where does that come in? Get disambiguation. Okay, so apparently Philadelphia is in the scriptures. Let's get that. Other places. Amman, the capital of Jordan, called Philadelphia. Okay, Amman, Jordan. All right, so this is going to take some further study as they're not really revealing anything. Okay. Now, what did I say I wanted to do? Philadelphia, Egypt. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's look in the scriptures. Let's see. Philadelphia. Philadelphia. Revelation, it's all in Revelation. Okay. It says, saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, what thou seest write in the book, and send it unto the 7 churches. All right. So Philadelphia is one of the 7 churches. Okay. Ephesus, Ephesians, Smyrna, Pergamos, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, Laodicea. All right. So ancient Philadelphia apparently goes back to Amman, Jordan. All right. So what significance does that have right today? All right. Which is neither here nor there. The point is that, let's get this. All right. So we went back. Let's get that again real quick. Philadelphia, Egypt, Salakia. There was a city of Philadelphia, which meant in ancient Greek, a city of brotherly love, located in Egypt. All right. Now we go here. And we go to Isaiah. 19. And then we read this: the burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Okay, let's go to Revelation 11. Okay, 11 and 8, and their dead bodies, who's they? When they shall have finished their testimony. Okay, let's talk about the two witnesses. Let's talk about, let's just talk about Israel. And their dead bodies, Israel, shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. All right. So a city in Egypt is called Philadelphia. This is Egypt, is the point that I'm making. And if we go back and read this, Isaiah 19 and 2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Okay, that's talking about race against race. All right, and the spirit of Egypt, this is 19 and 3, shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. Okay, so anyway, we see where this is going. All right. This is Psalm 109. See, these devils are setting us up from top to bottom. And it's the Most High setting up the nations in the 2/3, really. Because we're going to make it through this thing. This is Psalm 109 and 16. Because that he remembered not to show mercy, but persecuted the poor and needy man, that he might even slay the broken in heart. So these devils are setting up a trap for us. All right. Book of Psalm. Is it 98 or 10? 10 and 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the village. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let's get Ezekiel real quick to show you that both sides. This is Ezekiel 25, 13. What is it, 11? Right here. And 12. Ezekiel 25, 12. Thus saith the Lord power, because that Edom hath dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and hath greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it. And I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. And they shall do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury. And they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord power. So a fight is coming, right? A race war, if you will. So stay vigilant, because, this wily old devil, he knows that he hath but a short time. So he's making his move, all right? So with that, we hope that the elect were edified. Keep your eyes open, be circumspect, stay on your watch. And with that, we'll say shalom.